I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I really didn't want to do this. Um, no parts of me. Uh, it's been crazy. But you know, let me not be rude. Hello. Welcome back for those of you guys that have missed me. It's been a minute, and let me tell you why. So, I had just so you guys can understand what's been going on, and kind of, you know, what can happen to you guys too in business that I'm kind of just learning. I had to sit back and make a lot of observations. Um, I was on a roll. I felt like I was finally motivated again. I was inspired by you guys. I was getting back on the horse for, you know, just my inspiration. I was like on fire. Got my labels, getting my videos down, was putting like so much more time and effort into everything. And then when I tell you that I fell off so hard at the end of this month, or the beginning of this month, I should say, I cannot tell you, it was so unexpected. I had so much momentum going. I didn't think that one little thing could just make me fall off. And you guys aren't going to believe when I tell you what it was, but I think I can kind of elaborate a little bit. Okay. So at the beginning of the month, my phone had been having a lot of issues. And I know it sounds really silly, but when it ties into the business. But I'm sorry, you guys are going to hear, you know, my dogs in the background. They're here with me. But one thing, I had a phone that was kind of like just not really working well, and I worked through it. I got through the rhythm. My screen was a little bit broken, but you know, I was figuring it out. And then all of a sudden, one day when I was going out to get my grocery delivery, I dropped my phone. Like, I accidentally threw it and it broke, it shattered. And then I couldn't upload my videos onto my phone because that's how I'd been doing it. And I really couldn't get anything done at that point. And having to wait a few days for my new phone to get here, I just 100% lost momentum. And it's been really hard for me to get back on the horse. It took me a while to retrieve my files, my recipes and everything, to get back on social media. I've been like avoiding it like the plague. And it's interesting because I'm probably not the only one that this happens to, but I just fell all the way off in terms of my motivation. And I've been trying to push myself to get back on here to talk to you guys, to make some more formulas and so on and so forth. And it just made me physically ill. You know, good news is like, I've been focusing on my health a lot. I've been working out. I lost some more weight, built some more muscle, stuff like that. But as far as work goes, I was like, dang, you know, like, I don't want to come back. I do, but I don't. So here I am getting back on the horse. You know, I've been seeing go on a lot with other businesses, and some people fall off, and it's not fall off in the way, I'm not like saying it arrogantly, like, oh, they done fell off, you know. No, it's nothing like that. It's like, you just get to a point where you just can't hold up that momentum. And I'm not leaving, you guys. Let me just say this just to clear up any confusion. I am going to get back on this horse and make videos and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys that are sticking around and supporting me. I will make it worth it. I promise you. I have some new and I'm going to make a couple freebies to make up for my time gone. But in the meantime, you guys, you know, you always can go and check out my videos, and I still have recipes up. You guys can still message me. I'm still responsive on there. Blah, blah, blah. The Patreon still has over 200 formulas. So if anything, it gives you guys time to catch up on my old stuff. You know, you can still subscribe, go get caught up. But I just wanted to talk about too, since I got y'all here, and I talked about my own little, you know, moment where I kind of fell off. It's crazy how, you know, this time is going, and I kind of saw something, and it made me remember one of the things that I did in my business that kind of really made it difficult to recover. You know, if I have one bit of good advice that I'll give you guys to take away from this video, other than just to know what's going on with me, is one thing I did that really ended up hurting my business. It did good short term, and I'll explain, is I call it salesing myself to death. And we all see it. Sometimes we see bigger businesses, especially once I started to get into like that medium space, where I wasn't necessarily small and I was getting like into the six figures. And, went from like small, you know what I mean? I'm trying to over explain myself here. Is that like you have all these sales and those can take you to the next level and boost you. The problem is that, when you create your sale price for your products, right? You have it based on a certain calculation, how much it costs to make. I always say not necessarily your time, but your expertise that you're putting into it, and the craftsmanship, the packaging, all that stuff, the shipping. Okay, so you have that price calculated. You can put what I used to call a sale fee in there, so that I would mark it up a little bit more, so that whenever I did have sales, it wouldn't cut in too thin into my margins. But what happens is whenever you're having a lot of sales and you see the butters and things that are going for like just $15, buy one get one free. I did a lot of 30% offs, which killed my margins. For us small businesses, even if you are buying in bulk, right? Those prices are still hard, really hard, damn near impossible for us to get into without going into deficit. Say that even if you make like 90K in a month, right? And you do your sales projection, you do the restock style, you buy other stuff ahead of time, you sell and ship out. By the time you include that sale reduction based off of what you actually sold, what you actually profit from that becomes very small, because those bills are big, right? So say you make 90K, okay, that month, then you have to spend that much more in shipping, and like your cost of supplies doesn't necessarily reduce unless you're getting really small stuff. You have to re-up on labels, you have to restock, and you have to do it based on those calculations for the sale reduction, and then on top of that, your already cost of production that you need to make things. Okay, so it's really important as a business. You want to do promos to an extent, but if you're just having a sale, 50% off, $15 for this, buy one get one free, you're going to attract those people that will only shop with you that time, and eventually what you're going to cause is an unsustainable sales increase. Okay, and it's just very hard to maintain and to keep up. And so sometimes I see certain businesses, you'll see that they do well. They do the sale, a lot of people buy, you get all the content, you get all the people that are, oh my gosh, I paid for this, I love this, the long receipts, or the little printer thing, printing off the receipts and this and that. Let me tell you, as somebody that's done that can only last so long. I made that mistake, and what I would do differently this time around if I was to sell physical again to prevent that is to maintain a clientele that is either going to be more subscription based, or people that are going to be have more of a rapport with your customers. That's probably the biggest thing that you want to do that's actually going to get you, is you want to have that customer community rapport. A lot of businesses, like mine included, that did the 2020 boom, the COVID boom, are either going to fizzle out or not survive because of the fact that there wasn't really too much community established. I basically had to tear mine apart, brick from brick, but I still had a lot of people who supported me and came to my other side of my business, and I'm very grateful for that. That was one move I did that wasn't necessarily intentional, but it just happened to work out for me. A lot of what us in this business aren't willing to admit is that sometimes we like to make it seem like our success is calculated, like we planned this, we strategized this, we did it out. I can speak for myself, and I know, by proxy, I'm probably not the only one, but a lot of my success was accidental. I thought I knew what I was doing and was intentional, but truth be told, it was very unforeseen and unpredictable. In hindsight now, I can see what it was, but I had to learn. I had to have it, and then I had to lose it. And I'm very grateful that I was in a space to where some of the moves that I made obviously made me have a fall off with certain side of the business, but then I was able to still establish my Patreon and have my subscriptions and have you guys support me. Otherwise, I'm so glad I started my YouTube to chat with you guys and be helpful in that way. You know, my web designs, my graphic designs, my photography, all of those were very good investments because those are pretty much what's carrying me now. If I would have stayed making physical products, I probably would have had that much more of a hard fall off, you know, in that sense, and, you know, would have been announcing the close of my business probably even before now. So I can only imagine. So just know that it's rough. I think a lot of us as creators in skincare, and I don't feel like I'm speaking negativity. This is just my experience, so I can just share with you guys. I don't know if we're going to boom again the way that we did. I just don't know. I do know the smartest things you can do, not necessarily in selling your formulas, is really everybody. I've talked to a lot of people. I've done a lot of branding projects with people, and I really see that some of you guys have this excellent vision, you know, and you guys are geniuses in your own trades. Definitely consider doing behind the scenes work and helping other businesses get on. And really the money is going to be in one thing, kind of, is building a community and then helping those communities behind the scenes. A lot of collaboration. That's where it's going to be at. Okay. If you want to survive in this business, if you want to, you know, get your crafting out there, you got to really find where your niche is in terms of what you can give to your community and serve. It is about serving, okay? So yeah, it's weird. I've just been observing this kind of lately. You know, obviously I'm here talking to you guys. I'm back on the horse. I don't really see myself going anywhere, you know, even for like the next few years. I'm here. But yeah, just I know a lot of people out there, it's rough. Something that a lot of us won't admit, but it is. You know, those of us that are pivoting mostly are trying to survive right now. You know, it's hard having to have a business and swallow your pride and, you know, go back to applying for jobs and going back to school. But you know what? Don't punish yourself for that. It's really just part of the game. Just always remember this. When I was beating myself up for, you know, not having as big sale days at one point in time, you know, if you just look at any super successful person, any millionaire or billionaire, their journeys, a lot of them have people that bail them out. A lot of them have fall offs. They're going to go bankrupt. They have sales dips. We don't really see all of this, but a lot of this happens behind the scenes. A lot of us, you know, regular people like me and you, don't have those kinds of bailouts. You know, we don't have that capital behind. We don't have, you know, the rich uncle, mom, dad, aunt, whatever. You know, we don't have all that. That's a luxury. So you just got to remember that. And that doesn't mean that you have to quit or give up. That just means that you have to network a little bit differently and have a little bit more realistic goals with how it is you're going to strategize to come back on top, because a lot of us are going to get shaved off of the game. Maybe even me in a few years, you know, soon here. But the ones that survived are going to be the ones that networked, the ones that helped and served communities, the ones that really got their roots in with people and had those intentions of helping others get more out of it than just themselves. You know, they're not just here to take, they're also here to give to other people. So you just got to keep that in mind. And don't necessarily, I want to say hold on, but don't hold on and just hoping that something will change. You got to start getting into here and thinking about what your game plan is going to be and start innovating again. That's what it's going to take, you know. So it's been rough out here, financially, with everyone going on. You just got to really find where you can help and where you fit in if you're going to be in this industry and doing any of that at all. Definitely have a backup, something else that you're doing too, because if not, yeah, this is going to get dry and tapped. Sometimes you're going to have to rely on other stuff. That's just the truth that a lot of people aren't willing to tell you. You know, a lot of us wanted to be that butter girl that made the lotions, made the scrubs, took off, and never had to look back, never had to get another job. You hire people, you know, and they're all big and successful. But, you know, truth be told, a lot of us had some back end support that we just didn't even say about, or we're not really showing our wins, or the only losses we're willing to show are the cutesy ones that make us a little bit relatable. I see some of those sometimes, you know, the blunders, the oops, I did this, oh, you know. And the thing is, I don't blame people, because you do have to hold a certain aesthetic and standard. People have to see you succeeding. If they see you talking about the struggle in a certain way, you can come off as whiny and complaining and ungrateful, and that turns people off. So you have to mention, to sprinkle in a little struggle, and just to make you seem human enough to people. But you can't really talk about, you know, the 0 sales days, the days where you did this big old photo shoot and marketing campaign and no likes. You got like 0 turnout, okay? Even my videos, sometimes I'll be like thinking this, oh yeah, this video is gonna go up. I put a whole bunch of effort into it. I make it all pretty, do all my editing. And then like over the next few months, it only gets like 200 views. I'm like, dang, you know? And it's hard not to take personal. It's really, really hard, but you just can't. You just got to think about, you just got to be able to be analytical. What can I do? You know, and then just make sure you got something else going on the back burner, because this business, it'll require it. All right. So hang in there. Hang in there. It's, even if you got to pivot businesses, don't give up on yourself. Be there for you. Figure it out where it is you're going next. I am including some of my health journey on my IG, you know. For those of you guys that want to follow me, it's more personal. You know, I try not to mix too much with skincare, because it's like, I know you guys are here for that, but I don't know. Maybe I might start talking about it here once I get confident enough. I've lost, you know, shed some pounds here, getting, you know, more fit, but I'm still not exactly where I want to be yet. So there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I had to say. Anyway, I'm back, and next month I'm still going to be putting out some videos for you guys. But in the meantime, enjoy all of the formulas. There's more than 200 on there. I got a lot of you guys that are working on there. I'm going to come out with some shimmers. I'm going to see if I can resurrect my deodorant cream, because it's awesome, and just some different kind of deodorants. I have some collaboration with Brambleberry coming up, and yeah, you know, you guys drop a comment, let me know what you think, and you're always free to share your experiences with me. I won't discount them if they're completely different and you're just soaring and rocketing and doing awesome. You know, also put those stories out there. People need to see that you can do this. So just keep everything in mind. Keep everything in mind, and I'll see you guys on my next formulating video. All right, bye guys.